What's going on YouTube? This is ScarfChompGaming, and I have just recently built a gaming PC, and during my file transfers I must have lost the audio for this because it turned out just awful. Maybe the file got corrupted or whatever, but you cannot hear my voice. All you hear is the game audio. So I will be not doing a live commentary but a voiceover of our ladder climb to Master Ball tier. And today we're going to start off in the Ultra Ball tier. Now, I did have some battles where I just got my butt handed to me and we lost quite a few. We would win one, lose one, win one, lose one. I could not keep a streak going. And so what we ended up doing was taking it back to the basics and going to that first team we used in this ranked singles series. And you can see the Dracofish, Rotom, Heat, Togekiss, Dracupult, Excadrill, and the always punching Stone Puncher Conkeldurr. And here we're going to be going up against Marbovic and his team. And he's got Dracupult, Ferrothorn, Gyarados, Incineroar, Clefable, and his own Conkeldurr. Going into this, I wasn't 100% sure what to expect out of his team, which is why I led with the Rotom Heat. Looking at his team, I outsped everything except the Dracupult, and so for me that was fine. I didn't care a whole lot about a Dracofish lead or anything like that. I was pretty happy with the Rotom Heat, figuring we can outspeed everything else. 5 out of 6 isn't bad. So the first battle, starting from 0% on ranked 10, tier 10, Ultra Ball tier. And Marbovic is going to lead with Clefable, and we're going to go with our Rotom. So this is an okay matchup for us because we can just Volt Switch out of here. Pretty much the best play we can do. I can't remember if he had ground typing on his team or not. I don't think he did. A Dracofish swap in isn't bad. Not Dracofish. Dracupult switch isn't bad at this point, but I don't think you would do it. So here comes a switch into Gyarados, probably assuming an overheat. And we really didn't even think about this, but this Volt Switch is going to do a lot of damage. And he's going to eat his berry to try and reduce the damage taken, but it doesn't matter. At times 4 weakness. Choice Scarf, Rotom, Stab, the Volt Switch hit pretty hard. So now we are going to get Rotom back and just send out our Togekiss, knowing that it has a pretty good matchup against just about anything that they want to throw at us. And in comes, I believe, the Clefable, not revealing the rest of his team. He is down 2-3, so we're sitting pretty decent. And there is that Clefable. So we're just going to go ahead and go for the Air Slash and hope to get some hacks with our Super Luck. And not a bad chunk of damage there. And out comes the Thunderbolt. Luckily we're bulky enough to survive one of these. Granted, I don't think Clefable is a huge hitter. I don't know, I've never used one competitively. But maybe there's something there. So anyway, he's going to go for the Dynamax. I'm questioning this play for multiple reasons, but the main reason being that you've already taken damage. Why wouldn't you have Dynamaxed turn 1? But whatever. We're going to move first, so we're going to hit with another Air Slash and take the Clefable into the orange-yellow health. And then we're going to get hit by Moonblast, and that's going to take Togekiss out. Now, luckily, we still have Rotom and Dracupult. Neither have taken damage. So we're still sitting pretty decent, even though we lost Togekiss. Now it's 2-2. The play here is to swap into Rotom, especially with the Misty Terrain setup. Dracupult can maybe KO, but why take the risk when you've still got Rotom Heat? We can try and stall out this Dynamax. Our best move in this situation is probably Overheat, since we're holding the choice specs, it's going to do pretty massive damage. See here. Not what we wanted, but I guess there's not a whole lot you can do about that. So Clefable does survive, but does set the sun for us, which I thought was kind of odd. We will eat that somewhat handily. The sunlight does turn harsh, but we'll deal with that. So now we've got the last turn of Dynamax Clefable, but it doesn't matter because we're going to outspeed and just hit with another Overheat, ignoring our special attack falling. We really don't care. And down goes Clefable. So now we still have a Dynamax. They do not. Probably the best part about ranked singles, or the most important part, is knowing when to Dynamax. Us having the Dynamax left is huge. We're just going to go for an Overheat just because we're locked into it, and there's no use in switching at this point. Rotom Heat has done what he needed to do. He took out 2 Mons, one-shotted 1, and now here he's going to get hit and taken out by the Dragapult. Nothing too surprising there, and now we're going to go into a Dragapult of our own. And sitting here, knowing that we're not max speed, we're modest. You got a Dynamax. You have to. He doesn't have a Dynamax. I'm going to go with the Stab Max Whirlwind because it's power 140 versus 130, so we get that extra 10 base power. We're going to Dynamax because it will allow us to survive. Now, had this Dragapult been Focus Sash, we would have been in big trouble. But since it's not, we should survive here because of the Dynamax, because of the double HP. That is going to be the only reason we survive. So here comes the Shadow Ball. He is max speed, whereas we're modest. And then this Max Whirlwind should allow us to KO it, and it does. So no Focus Sash, which works in our favor. And we're going to be able to win this one. So we get our first win in Tier 10. There we go, we got a trainer. We are ready for the second battle here. Now, coming off a hot win, and we see this team looks to be a Trick Room team with maybe a Choice Scarfed Hydrogen. The Rotom is interesting, but not a huge threat to us. Now, Conkeldurr here is super effective on the Crawdaunt, the Hydrogen, the Rhyperior, and neutral damage on the Bronzong. Not a good matchup against the Hatterene. Not a good matchup against the Rotom. But Dracofish is interesting here just because I know 4 to 5 out of the 6 Mons we're going to be moving first on. Actually, almost the entire team because we're Choice Scarfed, unless they're Choice Scarfed as well. So he, to me, here seems the obvious lead. Togekiss for the bulk, and then Dragapult as our sweeper. That's a pretty decent strategy for this team. So this battle is about to get underway here. And they lead with Hatterene. So you know the Trick Room's coming. The question is it going to survive Officious Rend? The only way I think it does is with a Focus Sash. So they could potentially get Trick Room set up here, but if it's not Focus Sash, we should one-hit KO. Here comes Officious Rend, and we get the one-hit KO, which is perfect for us, bad for them. We are now up 3-2. Sitting pretty good, haven't taken any damage, not revealed the other 2 Mons on our team, have not Dynamaxed. This is where you want to sit. So in comes the Crawdaunt, and I just want to hit this Officious Rend again to see how much it does. I'm guessing it's going to be a big chunk. I don't think it's worth the risk to swap in. You see we contemplate it there, but I think you just stay in. Dracofish has done his job by stopping the Trick Room, and that does massive damage. Absolutely massive damage. Now, it was a critical hit, So maybe not as massive as we would have thought. Now the knockoff almost kills us, brings us down to 10 HP, and then he knocks himself out with his life orb. So Draco Fish gets another knockout in a weird way. And now all that's left is this Rhyperior. We're going to move first because we're naturally faster. We don't need the Choice Scarf to be faster, so Officious Ren's going to be doubled. Great move. When you move first, the power's doubled, which is why we give him the Choice Scarf. And so clearly down to his last mon, he pretty much has to Dynamax here, or it's almost a guaranteed loss. Now this Rhyperior's ability could be Solid Rock, which would reduce super effective moves, or Lightning Rod. I think it has one other move, maybe Sturdy. But I'm guessing it's not Solid Rock since we one-shotted it, although it is ×4 weakness, and it's pretty bulky in defense and HP. But like double power Officious Ren is just so strong, and then we also have Strong Jaw on top of that, so this move is hitting pretty hard. Here we go, we got another opposing trainer here. Now, we are just under half of rank 10, so sitting pretty good. This team is now 2-0, which feels pretty good. Now, looking at this team, I hate the Focus Sash Cloyster. The Grimsnarl is also annoying as well, so this guy's got two annoying potential leads that we've got to look out for. The Excadrill going into this, you got to think that the Excadrill is not Focus Sash, so probably Life Orb, and I don't see any other Sandstorm support, so I doubt it's Sand Rush. Gonna guess Mold Breaker. Conkeldurr has an okay matchup here for the Snorlax, the Cloyster, and the Excadrill, but we are going to lead with Draco Fish again. Actually, no, we're not. Scratch that. I don't remember what we lead with here, but we sure do take our time picking this team. It is kind of hard to guess because of what this guy can lead with. The Cloyster is kind of a problem, but I believe my thought process there is I'll break the sash, sack Draco Fish, and come in and Mach Punch with Conkeldurr. That way we don't have to worry about the Shell Smash, because you know that's going turn 1. So we'll just have to see what our opponent leads with, and it's actually the Grimsnarl. So Draco Fish is an okay lead here. You just gotta go for the Officious Ren. You know the Reflect's coming, and or the Light Screen, but if this guy's smart, Reflect's coming up. So there's the Reflect. I'm gonna guess holding the Light Clay. So we hit that Officious Ren, and it does not do a whole lot at all for two reasons. A, Reflect is up. B, we moved second. So now here we do move first, and you can see it does quite a bit more. He's going to go for the Foul Play, which I think is kind of interesting. It doesn't even do half. We're just going to go and try and hit again. He's going to set up the Light Screen. Pretty good play, as he's pretty much winding down in use. Unfortunately, since he moved first, we're not going to get that double power from our Officious Ren. And now here he makes an interesting play of withdrawing into Togekiss. So technically we're going to move first here, and this is going to do a big chunk. It does get the critical hit, which I think we would have done at least half. It does raise power by 1.5, so we could run the calcs, but I think we would have done at least half anyway. So in comes the Dracopult now, and we contemplate switching out into Conkeldurr. I still don't think Choice Scarf Draco Fish outspeeds. I think we're 126, so we'd be like 180-ish speed, roughly, somewhere in there. So we're just going to stay in and get KO'd here by the Dragon Darts. Overall, I think that's the play you have to make. And now we're going to bring in Conkeldurr for two reasons. A, he's bulky. B, he's going to be stalling out some screens. And C, we might try and get the paralysis because we do not do well against other Dracopults. Plus, if it's sashed, which it's probably not because of the other two Mons on this team that could have been, but if it is sashed, this would break it for Dracopult to come in, which is always good to know that that sash potential is gone. I'm pretty confident that Conkeldurr can survive just about anything here. Maybe not a max airstream, but he will survive the max Wormwind. Our attack's gonna fall, which does kind of suck, but there is the Thunder Punch. So now what we're gonna do here, which not a lot of Conkeldurrs run Protect, they run Ice Punch for this scenario, which we would have activated a weakness policy if we had that. So we're gonna go for Protect to try and stall out A, the screens, and B, the Dynamax. Now Conkeldurr plays a pivotal role in this battle because he wastes all 3 turns of Dynamax, and I believe he wears out that Reflect and the light screen. So in comes the max airstream. Now this thing's going to be very, very fast. Now we do absorb that due to the Protect. Obviously we couldn't fully protect ourselves, and he's going to get that speed raise, which is going to help him against our Dracopult. Now here, he's just going for stat increases. He doesn't know what our last mon is yet. And Conkeldurr can no longer defend that off, but we did fend off the Dynamax, which is great. There goes the Reflect. Not super great for us, not that it matters, because light screen's up. But what we do get is a non-double HP Pokemon, double HP because of the Dynamax. And we're going to Dynamax. The scary thing is here is light screen is still up. I believe we check for this, if I can remember where the Y button is. And there's still 2 out of 8 turns left. We know that Grimsnarl is low enough. So we're going to Dynamax our own self here. And go for this max Wormwind because it's our strongest stab. Now, a good play for him would have been to switch his Grimsnarl back in because Dragon doesn't affect it, and then go for a Thunder Wave. So, we get a little nervous here because Phantom Force can hit like a truck, and it's going to help stall out our Dynamax. So, 1 turn wasted. But we know now we're hitting this turn. He can't switch out, so we got to go for the max Wormwind here. It's going to hit us, it's going to do a decent chunk, but not as much as that Shadow Ball did earlier. So now we hit the max Wormwind, and we get the KO with the light screen up. So now all he has left is his Grimsnarl with very, very low health. Well, we have 1 turn left of Dynamax. The light screen wears off, if I recall correctly. And now all we have to do is go for any move that's going to hit. As long as it's not max Wormwind, max Phantasm, I wouldn't click. It probably would do the job, but why take the risk? And our opponent just cancels the battle, knowing that they cannot win. That's fine for us. We'll take our 3rd win of the night and climb up that ladder just a little bit higher. Alright, so we got an opposing trainer. This should be our last battle before Master Ball tier. Now, will we get there before the season ends and we get reset? Only one way to find out, and that is to see the outcome of this battle. So, looking at this opponent's team, we see another Trick Room variant, but the Whimsicott is interesting. and the SQ. They're both interesting. We see the Hatterene, we see the Kaparaja. The Whimsicott is not really making sense, but at the same time, maybe that's what it's supposed to do. Maybe it's supposed to throw us off. So going off our past battle, we do recall that Dracofish can one-shot Hatterene. However, we don't have the best matchup everywhere else. And so I believe that makes me more lean towards bringing Excadrill here. We may need to hit that event that's going on now with the Excadrill Mons, because sometimes Sand Rush isn't always the best. Sometimes you do want the Mold Breaker. But we pick our team and we head into this battle, hoping to win and hit Master Ball in ranked singles, and then we will be dual Master Ball tier in doubles and singles, which will give us quite the rewards. So here our opponent leads with the Hatterene. Must think they have a pretty good advantage with the Trick Room setup. It is much harder to set up Trick Room in singles than it is doubles. And we're clearly going to go for the Iron Head here. All signs point to the Iron Head. We take the Hatterene down to 1 HP. You see the Focus Sash. Unfortunate for us, they are going to get the Trick Room set up. So, knowing that we are also Focus Sashed, so even though this Hatterene can hit us with anything, Energy Ball, Mystical Fire, Psychic if it wants to, Dazzling Gleam if it wants to, we're surviving. There's no way this Hatterene is taking us out this turn. Maybe a G-Max Schmite and we hurt ourselves in our confusion, but I doubt that works. So here comes the Iron Head. We take it out after absorbing that blow from Hatterene, so we are up 2-1 and have wasted one turn of Trick Room. So in comes the Copperjaw. It's going to be Life Orb, Sheer Force, a very cool combination. I do have a G-Max one that would be very fun to use. Brave Nature, of course. I don't think it's 0 speed IV, but it is very close. Obviously, we're going to go for the Earthquake. I don't expect to get this off. I did contemplate Dynamaxing, but I think it would just be a waste of a Dynamax at this point. I think this thing being Sheer Force, Life Orb, just takes us out. Now, if I do recall, when you Dynamax, I don't think Sheer Force works. I would have to double check, but I think he's going to take Life Orb damage. So here comes the Max Quake. This is going to be super effective on us and take us out. It's also going to raise his special defense, which isn't a bad idea to do on these things because their special defense is pretty low. So Excadrill goes down. We do waste another turn of Trick Room. So we contemplate what we want to bring out next. I think the best play here is Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is definitely the best play. We've wasted one turn of Dynamax and 2 turns of Trick Room. Let's check. We got 2 turns left. So a Protect here is very crucial. You're going to see Conkeldurr pretty much be our MVP here. And this last little stretch of the Master Ball climb, without him, we would not be here. Without him stalling and taking up turns of Dynamax, Trick Room, etc., we would not have made it, especially with it being the last day. We kind of hee-hawed around and should have got to this Master Ball tier sooner, but we didn't. And now we're going to hit the Mach Punch for damage because I know we're not surviving another attack. And we just need to get some damage off. So our opponent is probably trying to think what they can do to prevent this Mach Punch from going off, but you pretty much can't stop it. It is coming. Obviously we don't do the damage we want to, but we're not Iron Fist, and we are Guts, and we don't carry the Flame Orb. And yeah, the Max Starfall is going to take us out. Good news is, no more Dynamax, no more Trick Room. Dracupult can come in and sweep. Now, here's an interesting problem. We don't have anything super effective on it. He did raise his special defense, but having bred a Copperjaw, I know that they don't have that great of special defense. So we're going to Dynamax. We can hit the Max Phantasm because it's effective. It's Stab, so that's going to help us pick this over the Max Geyser because we'll get that stat boost. Just kind of looking at what's left on the team. Kind of scared of Ice Cube, but then you got to remember we're special, not physical, so the Ice Face doesn't matter. And we're just going to go to the Max Phantasm since Ghost is just effective on Steel type. I believe in older gens it used to be not very effective, and I think that got updated in one of the generations. I don't remember off the top of my head which one it was, but I do remember that did happen. Okay, so in comes Dracupult, and we do hit the Dynamax. And here comes the Max Phantasm. Hoping for a KO. We are Life Orb. We get the KO. So this played out into our favor. We're going to lose a little bit of HP. And now our opponent has no Trick Room left. And you got to assume it's a Trick Room Mon. Interesting choice in the Whimsicott. Not what you expect when there isn't a Trick Room. And we know it can't carry the Focus Sash. So we just go for the Max Phantasm, we know we outspeed, and we get the KO. Which brings us to Master Ball tier. So, after we used this team for a little bit, decided to switch to a different team and try and pick up some wins. Got us to rank 10 with the other team, and then we could not advance further. We won one, lost one, won one, lost one, back and forth probably 10 times in a row. And then I said, well, let's go to the basics and let's go back to what works. And we did that, and we ended up getting to Master Ball tier. So I will leave the rental code below. We will do all that, but you can see there we've reached Master Ball rank. We're 40,525th in the world. We never did play another battle in that season, so we will be coming back to a new season. We'll see where we got dropped down to. I'm not sure what rank we'll be at, if we'll be in Master Ball tier or not, but there you can see double battle and single battle. I can leave rental codes for either of the teams. Just let me know. But other than that, if you like what you saw and you liked this little series of us climbing from tier 0 all the way to Master Ball tier in one season, let me know with a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll keep pushing these videos out because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I just built a gaming PC so I can better record some of the graphics and audio and stuff like that, so hopefully things get a little smoother here. But as always, thanks for watching, and just go ahead and leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Other than that, thanks.